Yes, people. Great question. How to make money online and quit your 9 to 5 already? Is it even still possible? Are people still doing this? Is it really a thing? Oh man. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is, and I'm going to tell you and show you exactly how to do it. So, a couple of things I'm going to share with you here. I would suggest go ahead and grabbing a piece of paper, something to write with. You're going to want to write these down. So number one, I'm going to go over the thing that you need to do so you can position yourself to actually start making money online. And I'm going to break this down for you. I'm also going to share with you some ideas that are working, what folks are doing right now, what I'm doing right now while I'm working 9 to 5 and still working, getting with my online business, still taking care of that, still moving forward, getting traction, super exciting. I'm going to share with you what I'm doing to position myself to finally fire my boss and become job optional. I'm also going to share with you some of the unforeseen traps or pitfalls that I ran into. And if you're like me and been on this journey for a while, I'm sure you've got a few stories of your own as well. So, and the reason that I'm going to share with you those things is because we want to go ahead and be able to change our trajectory, right, of where we're going now and where you want to be. But also, most importantly, we need to talk about how to get there and avoid these traps and pitfalls. So the first thing, obviously, if you've been looking online, there are a ton of options. So first thing you need to do is decide what fits you. And this is kind of the process that I utilize to make a decision on what I was going to do. So there's a couple things to consider now when you're looking to start an online business, whether it be digital products or physical products. You got to figure out, what are you going to promote? What are you going to sell? Are you going to go ahead and sell your own products, or are you going to sell somebody else's products? And I'm going to help walk you through this a little bit more because it can be a little bit tricky. So let's just talk about each of those a little bit more. Physical products. Selling physical products, that includes t-shirts, mugs, planners, things that you can make and sell them, like places like maybe eBay, Etsy, Amazon. Those are the places that you can typically find those physical products. And then we have what's known as digital products. And these are products that either yourself or someone else creates, like maybe a book or some sort of guide that people can purchase from you, something that maybe you specialize in if it's your own product that you want to share with others, that you feel is maybe, that's missing in the marketplace, whatever that might be for you. So digital products, unlike physical products, digital products are shared electronically. So those are where people have access to them via email, or they have a link to download, and then they are in possession from them. Physical products, of course, obviously you order, whether you fulfill that yourself or someone else or something else fulfills that order for you, those would get shipped out to the consumer. So if you're like me and you're working 9 to 5, you're obviously limited on time. So if you're looking for something to replace that 9 to 5 income and create a business that's consistently making money for you, that's scalable for you, you want something that's going to last, not just a one-shot deal. You created a cool mug or t-shirt, you sold 1,000 of them, and now nobody wants to see them anymore, So you want to find something that's scalable. And you have to go through the process of asking yourselves these questions. Don't just dive in. Really give some thought. How much time do I have? What is of interest to me? And what wouldn't I mind talking about and selling or promoting? So the next thing we're going to talk about is just a little bit of those pitfalls or traps. And all the questions that I just went over with you, kind of going through that thought process, where I'm at now, how much time do I have, do I want to do digital products or physical products, are they going to be my own products, or can I, get the permission to sell someone else's products? I never asked myself those questions. I didn't know to ask them. I had no idea of actually how to narrow it down and have that thought process of walking me through to make a great decision that would work for me. This was not a good thing because the result of that was me wasting a lot of time and a lot of money buying physical products. I have a background. I've done, I've tried many times in affiliate marketing or network marketing, where you just buy a product, you buy a kit, you sign up, you pay to lock your spot. And either, you have to end up spamming everybody that you know and love in your family and lose a bunch of friends over it because you're talking about things that they're not interested in. So the other part of that too was, I was only to earn a portion of the sale. I was still in that same type of structure where a portion of what you earn goes towards the company. So I wasn't able to earn all of it. A piece of it still went back to the corporate office. So that wasn't real appealing to me because, I felt like I was doing all the work and I should have, all the profits, right? So in my mind, it was just obstacle after obstacle. I thought that maybe I wasn't successful because it was the product that I was promoting. And also the way at that time, the way we interacted was with people, it was all networking. Belly to belly, knee to knee, all those breakfast meetups, the lunches, the after hours or after work hour mixers, going to all of these functions, handing out business cards, hoping someone would visit your website and finally order from you, correct? But then I realized, well, even if people, how can I track who went to my website? I mean, I see that people are on my website because there's usually like a little tracker number that tells you how many visits you had. Are those just me looking at my website? Or those are people really interested? So maybe if they don't want to buy now, how do I keep in contact with them or later, so I can continue to, I can stay front of mind to them and they would continue to see either an email from me or some sort of communication. There wasn't anything in place. And this was because I didn't know anything about it, what's called a funnel page, a sales page, or a capture page, where somebody goes to your website. Maybe they're not interested in buying at that time, but they are interested in learning a little bit more. So they opt in, provide their email information. And ideally, you would want to have some sort of email campaign or an autoresponder that periodically, not spamming them, but periodically sends out emails to them. Doesn't that make more sense? Yeah, well, I never knew. I never was shown, never taught any of that. I never knew. And when I did start finding out about it, it was always like, oh, just the gurus had it. It was extra something special. But nobody really was sharing a lot of information, like the inside track of how to grow that part, of the business. So I just saw one obstacle after another. I really hated it. It left a really bad taste in my mouth with network marketing and affiliate marketing. Finally just had to sit down and say, you know what, Toni, you're just burning yourself out. You're working full time, and every spare minute that you have, you're running to some network event. It's eating up your evenings. It's eating up your weekends. You're spending money on these vendor tables, and you're not getting anything out. It just was just really a money pit, really a money pit. So I went back online, started looking around, and of course, there's so much noise out there. So many false claims of income. So many people, this is a no-brainer, that's a no-brainer. Well, if it was a no-brainer, right, everybody would be doing it. So you're not going to find any of that false information here on this channel. I'm totally transparent and being very upfront and honest with you, But when I finally was able to make a connection with someone who had been in the industry for 16 years, I started finding out that, these folks that were successful online, they had all these sales pages, funnels, they had an email responder, they were building their email list, And so I thought, okay, I gotta figure out how to do it. I gotta find out. So then I started looking around and how can I piece it together? And I get this email responder, and I'll get this, funnel system, and then I found out, man, you're just like hodgepodging, right? It's kind of like baking a cake. You got a chocolate cake recipe, but maybe you don't want to use the chocolate that they recommend, or you want to use a different kind of pan, or you decide I'm not going to add eggs. you're going to come up with something, but it ain't going to be a cake, and it's probably not going to be edible. So I needed the recipe. I needed the roadmap. I needed the instruction, which I can do. I can follow a recipe. I can follow instruction how to get me from A to B. What was the middle part? You know, otherwise you end up with a Frankenstein business, right? You got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe it works. When something goes wrong, you can't, reverse engineer it because you don't know what piece might be broken. So, I finally was able to connect, like I said earlier, with someone who's been in the industry for many years, and she just really resonated with me. I felt like when, I listened to her and I watched her videos, went to her Saturday school for more information. I just felt like she was talking to me, because she had a similar background. She had a similar vision. She faced those similar challenges. And I was introduced to a course, this digital marketing course. It's really a one-of-a-kind business development and marketing automation course. And this is the course that I became a student of, and the course that I share with others who are looking to build an online business, looking for time freedom, looking to be in control of their income, and finally fire their boss and become, job optional. So this was my solution, and that's why I'm sharing it with others, because I know there's got to be many people out there who are kind of walking down the same path, And this is also where I learned the questions that we talked about previously, really drilling down on what did I want to sell. Did I want to do physical products, digital products, my own products, somebody else's products? Okay, now that I have to figure out what social media platform am I going to use, and why am I choosing that, and what makes one better than the other for me as an individual. So, and how can I do all this while I'm working full-time? I knew I needed to automate things, and that's where people were having success. That was like the special sauce, setting up these automations to work in the background while I was working my 9-to-5 job. So I learned all these things, how to connect everything in the back, how to create payment options for folks, the power of building an email list, how to keep in contact with people. And then this way I'm staying front of mind. If they do decide to purchase, then they know exactly where to go. So this course really, really just held my hand every step of the way, from just the idea and thought of wanting to have, an online business to my ultimate future vision of being out of that call center environment. No more game of phones, no more headset hair, and being in charge of or in control of my income, and most importantly, my time. So it helped me to walk through all of these questions and really spend some time and think about it. So I never felt rushed. There wasn't any like, oh, you have to do it now, and you have to. No, it was very methodical, one by one. Helped me build out those automations so that I could continue to do what I'm doing 9-to-5, which made so much sense. And I know, it's a little bit repetitious here, but it does bear repeating, because this course is really the business development and automation course. It provided me the foundational layers, just, one thing on top of the other, one really strong business, one course, one social media platform, one product. So it really changed my whole mindset to see solutions instead of obstacles. Now when I come up against something, I just refer back to the course. I go back to that module, I go back to that section and just refresh my memory. Oh, okay, this is what I need to change. This is what I need to do. And then also the biggest part of this that made it super attractive getting on with this course was the community. Just a group of awesome, like-minded people with similar challenges, similar backgrounds, and similar visions. So it really made me see, man, if this person can do it and my life isn't as complicated as that person, I certainly feel like this is doable. And that's what we need to know. We need to feel that it's doable. It is actually something we can do. And I have to say, in all honesty, in any of those other endeavors that I pursued, I never felt that way because there was always something missing. I always felt like I didn't have the cheat code. And now I feel it's not really a cheat code, but it felt that way because now it's like, oh, that wasn't so hard, but I just didn't know about it, right? So I didn't have to worry about getting only partial payment, right, or earning 50% or 80% of whatever of what I sold. With this course, this digital marketing course, this is the course that I promote and sell. It's $500, and every time I sell this course, I have the opportunity of that going directly into my bank account. I don't have to wait for anybody to pay me. I don't have to wait till commission date or anything like that. As opposed to when my 9-to-5 job is hourly plus commission, but I have to wait months before the company gets paid and then I get paid. That's kind of a drag, because you'd be working bloody knuckles all day long and hoping, that you get your check. So no more of that. I don't have to worry about that part anymore with this business. So yeah, back to the question. Is it a thing? Definitely. Are people doing it every single day? And can you do it if you want to? You certainly can. You can get started. If you got started now, like I got started a few months ago, huge change. I mean, huge change all across the board. But if someone got started now, just think of where you might be in a month, 3 months, by the December, setting you up for 2025. Everybody always wants to start New Year's resolution, right? Every first of the year. You start now. I figured, Toni, if you start now, you're going to be way ahead of everybody else who waits. And if they ever take action, that'll be a miracle. Because I've been guilty of that too. Because fear of making the same mistake again. Fear of, spending more money on more products, knowing that, I probably won't do it, or it's probably not going to go good, or anything like that. So, boom, you guys, I just gave it all to you right there. Yes, it's doable. People are making money online, but again, you have to take action. You just have to get started. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. You're not by yourself. Sometimes we feel that way, and you want something so bad, but you're so disappointed about how many times you've tried. But it's still like, I don't know, like for me, it just haunts me. It haunted me at night. I got to do something different. I've had a back up against the wall moment financially. I've got to change things. And this was my solution. So if anything that I said resonated with you, or you're interested in just finding out a little bit more, just go ahead and click on the www.byobwithtoni.com. That'll take you over to my page, give you a little bit of information, drop your email in there. I'll periodically send out to you emails, talk to you a little bit more about the course and my successes along the way as well. So thanks guys for stopping in, and I'll see you soon.